Crime friends, we clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather round, Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heifer, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away.
Hey there, true crime friends. Happy Saturday. Oh my God. Have I got a case for you? So listen, this week we started with a new case. That is Miss Karina Cooper. So in case you don't know, Karina Cooper is accused in the unfortunate unaliving of her husband, Ryan, her and her boo thing, Hudson Danker, who is half her age, child. Allegedly, unfortunately, unalive this man so that they could run off and live happily ever after. Little problem, they got caught. Now look, there's a whole bunch of curtain twitchers living over there in East Idaho, Iowa, the Iowa region of Idaho, Iowa. And so they've been sneaking into my DMs. They've been getting at me on Facebook. They've been getting into my messages. They got all Miss Karina's business out in these true crime streets, and you know I am here for it. But 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 wait, there's more. I need to talk about this story, but you know that my my take, my point of view is gossip, right? I just want that good. Facts. You're not here for facts. This is not Reuters. But sometimes I need a partner to help me out who comes with actual facts, actual information, who can actually answer real factual questions about the case. And so I have paired with the fabulous Tiff from Tiff Unraveled. Do y'all know her? Have y'all met Tiff? Okay, so look, everybody batten down the hatches. She's gorgeous. Don't fall out of your chairs. Tiff has agreed to join us here at Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. I believe this is her very first live stream ever. So please give a warm curtain twitcher welcome to our friend Tiff from Tiff Unraveled. Hey, girl. Hey, how are
Hey,
you?
I'm good. How are you, Kathy?
I'm good. I knew you were going to be gorgeous, so I put on makeup. I did a lip, I did an
You
eye.
you look stunning, and thank you, seriously. Thank you. You look beautiful.
Thank you, as do you.
Thank you.
Now look, this live stream is going out on Tiff Unraveled and on Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. I can't even say the name of my own channel. Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo at the same time. Y'all, Tiff is a baby YouTuber. She just started. She's
Mhm.
brand new.
Brand
So
new.
Tiff might be a little bit nervous, but we here for
Mhm.
you, Tiff girl. We got you.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Seriously, thank you so much.
So how did you first hear about this case? Tell me every single thing.
I just I've always been true crime obsessed, so I always have Google updates pinging and going off all the time. So I remember just
Mhm.
hearing about the arrest of Karina, and that was a while ago. But it kind of just disappeared after that, and then finally got the ping. I don't know what, a week or so ago, that she was set to go to trial. So
Mm.
I was on it. Yeah, I was on it. I was excited.
So when I mean, listen, I very often there are cases that everyone is covering, right? Like
Right,
the big ones like
right.
Karen Reed and Brian Koberger and all these cases, which is great. Somebody needs to cover those cases. But I like a small little case from the back
Mhm,
room that nobody is
mhm,
covering that also might have video footage, right? Because if the
mhm,
cameras are not in the courtroom, it's too hard to follow. So I make it my business to keep an eyeball out on Court TV's
mhm.
second tier cases. That's how we found Brian Camp. That is how we found Karina Cooper.
Right.
So I was like, let my Google fingers do the walking because I'm sure somebody else must be talking about this case. And nobody was talking about this case.
That's what people were telling me. It was so underreported. I mean, people just came to my like direct message, private message, and was just like, "Thank you for talking about this. Thank you for talking about it," because apparently nobody was. So
Wow. So you and
yeah.
Court TV were the first on the case to discover this little trash
Hey,
bag. I mean,
I'll
the
take it.
accused.
I'll
The the accused.
the
The
accused.
accused.
The accused.
So to go back to the beginning of the case, Karina she was 47 when she was arrested, is that right?
Right. And this took place in 2021. So she was 40, what, 44 or so. And Houston Danker was 22 or 23 at the time. So like you said, half his age or
Right.
half his age.
Have her. Yeah, like first of all, he's young enough to be her child, which okay, May December romances, whatever, fine. Also, I was looking at some of her old pictures and she used to be real cute. Right now, she looks like she's a hard 60.
It,
But
it, it jail aged her. It was rough.
we routinely do prison glow downs, but this prison glow down is next level.
It
Next
was
level.
it was rough.
I was like, oh my God. Do they not have like water or sunlight or moisturizer in prison? Clearly, no.
But I told you they have really good setting spray because her face dry, dry the whole
Oh
time.
my God. Oh my God. I was like, girl. So she gets arrested and then it took from the time he was unfortunately unalived
Mhm.
until the first she was arrested first or he was arrested
He
first.
was arrested in February of last year, and then Houston was arrested in April of last year. But it was a 2.5-ish, a little more than 2.5 years before any arrest was made. Yeah,
I mean, I guess they took their time. There's
they
no
did.
statute of limitations.
They
They're
did.
going through all the things like one by one, we're going to put this case together.
Yes.
Um,
And the digital stuff, which is the big stuff here, that all
yeah.
of that takes so much time to like compile and put together and go through. But that's definitely what broke this one for sure.
Well, they were using Snapchat, which is new. Normally people are on
Mhm,
like Facebook Messenger or
mhm.
whatever. Are you a Snap user? I am not. My kids
I'm
are.
not a Snap right. My kids are. I don't use Snapchat, but I think my opinion was Snapchat messages can be deleted. I think they're just finding out
Right.
now that not permanently so. Um,
Well, I think you can set them. My brief research is that when you send a Snapchat message, right? Thank you, my father's alibi. $20 super chat. Blah, blah, blah. Grateful for your coverage of lesser known cases. Well, you are very welcome. My father's alibi. Girl, what your daddy was doing? I don't. Your father's alibi. Okay. Um, my understanding of Snapchat is that you send a message and then you set how long it lasts before it gets deleted. So you can set it for as soon as they read it, it's deleted, or the next day, or whatever. The thing that
right,
people don't realize is that it deletes for you, it deletes
right.
for the person you sent it to. It does not delete for Snapchat.
They're learning that
So,
the hard way now.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. To you guys' questions. I'm starring questions so we can get to them. Also, I put a question box. I'm not sure where it shows up on YouTube, but I put a question box. So if you think I've missed your question, put it in the question box because then that'll isolate them and I don't have to try and catch them as they go by. Um, so the police went and got their Google searches, their Snapchat. Karina was at least smart enough to delete some of her messages, but not her searches. I,
Right.
did you write any of them down? Because when they brought them out
Um,
in court, I was like, girl.
so most of what yeah. She did try. She did a lot of like Safari private browsing, and it looks like a
Right.
lot of that they actually were not able to find. The district
Yeah.
attorney was pointing out that there were like 3-month blocks where they just couldn't find any Google search history on her, which
Mm,
based on all her patterns was very unusual and obvious
right.
that she was like deleting or hiding, her search history. But
He's a true crime fan. She was just like, "We're gonna use Snapchat so that they
Mm,
disappear, and I'm
mhm.
gonna go incognito, and I'm gonna so not everybody can see these messages."
Well, they're not good true crime fans because they should have known that stuff's coming back.
Girl,
It's coming back.
girl.
Yes.
When on Monday in court, the first day, not
Yes.
Monday. I think of whatever the first day is of court
So
is Monday, but I
Tuesday,
think it was
yes,
Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, the first day of court when the prosecution gave her opening statement. I was like, okay, she has broken down exactly what happened. The guy was killed. The messages, blah blah blah,
yes.
and then the defense attorney got up and gave her opening statement. I trust that you saw the opening statement. Thoughts?
Yeah, you did I did a very brief reenactment of it on, one of my
Oh my
shorts.
God.
It was great.
Oh
I
my God.
think I think I think it was perfect. You want me
Well,
to do it now?
please, please.
Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Houston Danker. Houston Danker. Houston Danker did it. Find her not guilty. Thank you. Did I Thank
It was
you.
the
Yeah,
perfect reenactment. That is
that was it.
exactly what she
It was
did. I
compelling,
couldn't
compelling
I
stuff.
couldn't even remember Houston Danker's name until she stood up there and said it 3 times. You just gonna
It
keep
changed
saying his name.
everything. Yes.
I was like,
Changed everything.
"Oh, I wasn't sure." The
Yeah,
22-year-old Houston Danker,
yeah,
he's the one who did it.
we got
Okay.
it.
Houston Danker, not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Of all the 22-year-olds in
Right,
eastern Idaho, him?
right.
Girl.
Yeah,
So I particularly really loved his Google searches because the Google search is the window to the soul,
for
or at
sure,
least the window to the thinking.
for sure.
And so I took a moment to transcribe some of the Google searches that came out on day 2 of trial. Well, first, let me go back a little bit. On sound is choppy. I'm not sure why. Oh, that's interesting. I might have too many windows open. Thanks, girl. Um, okay. Hopefully that helps. Um, I what was I saying? Oh, on the Kathy, do you need to refresh? Oh, I don't know. Please hold. Let me refresh. Okay, I am refreshed. Let's see. Yes, sound is skipping. I thought it was my app. All right, you guys, tell me if you're still getting skipping sound. Also, let me close out some of these other windows. Hang on. I got a lot of stuff open over here.
If there's something I need to do, let me know. I can try. I'm new to this, so I don't know.
Is nope, not fixed yet. There's something going on with StreamYard today.
It did give that warning when we opened it
Yeah,
up.
opened up. Hang on. Let me see. Hmm. I don't know. Yes, skipping, still skipping. That stinks. Well, it said to turn off virtual backgrounds, and
Mhm.
it said turn off touch up my appearance.
Okay.
I've turned off virtual backgrounds. Let me refresh one more time and see if that helps. Hold on. Okay. I'm using my new microphone as well. I might have to plug in the old mic. Everybody's saying your sound is fine. Um, hang on. Bear with me. We have technical difficulties. Let me grab my old mic and see. Hang on one second. Connect this microphone. Give me a sec, guys. Okay, the red mic is back.
Red mic.
If that helps with sound. I sound clear to me, so I'm not sure I have sound to other people. First of all, Tiff, can you hear me?
Yeah, I wasn't hearing any skipping or anything like that.
All right, well, listen, we're going to muddle through. We're going to do the best that we can. Oh,
Okay.
saying yes, yes, yes. That,
Better?
hey,
Okay.
the expensive mic is no bueno. Um, oh, she says perfect. Okay,
Awesome.
so now we know. All right, let me. You sound great now. Oh, well, listen, should we start over?
Take it from the
Okay,
top.
let's take it from the top. Okay, so your reenactment of Houston Danker
Yeah.
apparently was spot on.
Okay. Lovely.
Okay, good to know.
I thought I
It's a
did a
good thing.
really good job.
It's a good thing I saved the box for that microphone because that joker is going right
Send
back.
it send it back.
Yes, yes. Okay. So we're talking about the case of Karina Cooper, the state of Iowa versus Karina Cooper. Um, she's accused in the unfortunate unaliving of her husband, who she is deeply, deeply, deeply grieving, according to her. Now, according to us, not so much. It's not going good. Um, excuse me. So,
I was really trying to hold on to um before forming an opinion. I think I had told you I had been getting a lot of messages as well from community members and friends, people who were familiar with that circle. And Karina
mhm,
Cooper had a lot of support, a lot
prior to her arrest,
prior to her arrest, after her arrest, all the way up. I'll tell you, turning point, maybe you can guess, was Thursday during trial. Messages exposed, Google searches exposed. Up until that moment, a lot of people had her back in this. And then the
she was a
messages
local hairdresser. So was she
she
like
was.
super popular? People knew her from that?
People knew her really well. Ryan was very, very well known and very loved. And yeah, Karina was people knew them, their family, and even people who were really close to Ryan after his death have been supporting Karina and saying there's no way. A few messages that I got yesterday after
Hmm.
the texts, the Snapchats, and the Google searches, they
Right.
said the entire dynamic in that community just kind of shifted. Everyone was
So,
blown away, and I have a couple people saying she made us all look stupid
oh my God.
because they were very vocal about the fact that she didn't do this. She didn't do this. It was Houston. It was Houston. It was Houston.
So why would Houston have done it if not for her? That part kind
So
of doesn't make sense to me.
the message that I got yesterday said, and this, of course, just speculation and talk from the town, that the story that Karina was portraying to her community and her family and her friends was that
Hmm.
Houston did this because Ryan had learned about maybe what was going on, and that
Mhm.
Karina wanted to call it off with Houston, and that Houston just he
Oh,
couldn't accept that, and so he went rogue and did this thing. But we saw very clearly on Thursday that that is not what happened at all,
right.
and so everybody by Thursday evening just felt like they had been lied to for a long time. So
Hoodwinked, bamboozled. Oh my God. So
bamboozled.
I was going to read Houston Danker's Google searches because
Oh, you should.
Karina
You should.
was smart enough to search for things on incognito. But Houston's Google searches included, but certainly were not limited to, because there was a lot of
There was a
them.
lot.
His his Google searches included how to kill with antifreeze, best ways to kill, how to save Snapchats, sodium sulfate deadly. I don't know what sodium sulfate is, but he wanted to know if it was deadly. He Googled a bunch of different poisons, and then he Googled black market, then the black market. Sir, I don't know if you know, the black market, number one, is not a place. I mean, I
And it
guess it is
doesn't show
kind
up
of a
on
place.
Google.
He's like, dear Waze, how do I get to the black market? Do I turn left at the McDonald's or right? Like,
You're
sir,
too much.
that's not how the black market
Oh
works.
my gosh. It's
I was
not.
like, oh my God, he's not that smart.
And the funny
Then
thing
he,
is, well, not funny, but so those messages were prior to Ryan's
yes, his passing.
departure.
Hmm.
Um and then the turn that his Google messages took after the incident, but before the arrest,
Hmm.
did you notice that? Then it was, can my Snapchat messages be deleted? Can forensics find your Snapchat messages?
Yep.
Um, can forensics do this? Lawyers in Iowa. Like he just went into straight panic. And his all of his searches after that were like, how do I cover my tail? How do I
Right. Right.
can they find this out? Yeah, it was a complete shift in his Google searches after that.
He was like, let's see, find old Snapchats, Iowa. Did he think that Snapchat was state specific? Like you
Stateside.
can find them in California, but not in Iowa?
Can you recover
Sir.
Snapchats in Iowa? Yes, those were very
Yes.
specific.
My
He
personal favorite, where do murderers go to prison? Um,
Yeah,
sir, if you're
maximum
asking that
security
question,
prisons.
yes, yes.
He
Iowa prisons. Was he looking for Yelp reviews? Like,
he
which prison
he was
has the best
panicking.
dinner?
He was panicking. How to kill with no evidence. He was Googling,
Yes,
grave
yes,
digging, the sizes of, like,
yes.
graves, and I
But
mean,
like, it was not personally responsible for digging like they didn't try to conceal the body, sir. Why did you
no,
care?
no.
Oh my
And,
God. Wait,
I mean, trust me,
this
I
kid
get it.
rides the short
My
bus.
Google search is probably a little sus also. All of my Google searches are probably, but, this guy was
Girl,
no, true crime content creator, so they
he
look a
was
little
not.
bit no.
He was not. He Googled minimum security prisons,
Mhm,
maximum security prisons,
mhm.
Leavenworth prison. Is it Leavenworth in Kansas? You
I
live
don't
in
know where
Iowa, sir.
I don't know where Leavenworth is.
I believe Leavenworth is a town in Kansas and the prison is there. So
Okay.
that's not how that works. He Googled a lot of stuff about Snapchat and location.
Yeah.
Like, can Snapchat find my location? Which I guess it can. Oh, and
Mhm.
this was my personal favorite. After he has shared all these messages on Snapchat, he started Googling how does Snapchat work? Psst, sir, too late.
Too late.
It's too late. It's too late.
And,
Um,
I think another one was, if I delete my Snapchat account,
yes.
does that just get rid of everything, all the messages
Right.
and all that? But they're
Right.
all stored
Can
on the phone also, so he doesn't know this.
let's see. Can the feds can who is texting me? Okay, I'm getting like a zillion text messages. Can Fed see Snapchat, recover Snapchat messages, recover deleted Snapchat photos? And I was like, okay, he had some concerns.
He
Yes,
did.
Leavenworth is in Kansas. That's what
Okay.
our true crime friends are telling us.
Okay.
He didn't have to worry about, he was probably like, what prisons have I heard of? Alcatraz. He's probably too young to know about
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
He was
He's only
he was
22.
panicking. He knew. He knew.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, is Leavenworth a federal prison? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Somebody, chat will tell us. Chat knows all. And then the DA's office broke it down into categories. They
Mhm.
categorized the
The
messages, the
searches.
searches
Yeah.
by poisons, killings, legal, and lawyers. And I was
Yes.
just like, okay,
Yep.
good. And there was a date. Why the date?
Because one of his last searches, or not last searches, one of his searches after the incident was Father's Day 2021, because him and Karina were trying to figure out how they were going to spend Father's Day with her children that year.
Oh, right, because they kept planning about. P.S. This dude died in June. Father's Day is in July.
Right.
Sir,
Yes.
a
He was
month
all
later,
they
you're gonna be like, I'm your new dad?
Well, even in Karina's, in all of the messages they exposed of Karina's, she was saying like, "You're their daddy. You don't need my permission to do this, or you don't like." It was insane. She was already referring to her and Ryan's 3 children as her and Houston's children.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I
It was
mean,
sad. It was sad. I mean, you've got this guy here and you're just like, you're their daddy now. Like, imagine the kids.
and what they might be having feelings less than a month after their father has been brutally murdered in their own home.
Yeah.
The thing that really, really sort of blew my hair back, what there is of it, was that 911 call. Can we pause for a moment for the 911 call?
Oh my gosh. I've never
It
heard anything quite like that.
I thought we thrown around the idea of playing it, but to spare people's eardrums and their
Yeah.
emotional psyche, would you like to reenact it or shall I?
You do this one. You do this one. I can't wait.
So this is the 911 call. 911, how can we help you? The caning and
That was it.
screaming at the top of her voice, just like it did not stop. She's like, murder, help, husband, just like
In the most
decibel,
high pitched, yes. It was
unbelievable,
wild. It was wild.
unbelievable. Susie says, please don't play it. I will not. That's why
Yeah.
we opted for the reenactment
The
because
reenactment was beautiful.
it was next level. I
And
was just
even
like, I
when
was,
Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy, go ahead.
no, no, go, 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 go.
Even when Aaron, Ryan's brother, he took the stand as well, and they
Yes,
played his 911 call, and he's pulling into the driveway. He's on the phone with 911 because he couldn't get any information from Karina either. When
right,
mind
right.
you, I don't know if you guys know this, she called Aaron Cooper, Ryan's brother,
Mhm.
before she called 911, which I still am having a little bit of trouble understanding. But
Boggles the
anyway, even
mind.
as Aaron's pulling into the driveway, he's on the phone with 911, and you can hear this woman from the driveway in the house. And then it just keeps going all through the body cam footage that they played from Detective Foster. It just
Right.
kept going. It was
She's
insane.
screaming and screaming and
Yeah,
screaming. And they said, had you ever seen anything like that? And he said, no, I've
never.
never seen a victim or a participant so hysterical they're unable to provide any information at all. She could give zero
Nothing.
information because she just kept screaming and pretending to be hysterical. I understand. Something
Mhm.
tragic has happened. Yes, you had something to do with it, but um something tragic has happened and you're upset. I would think the first thing you want to do is to get help for your loved one. The
Mhm,
best way to do that is to get your act right fully installed, even
mhm,
if just for a moment, and say, "It's my husband. Here's
mhm.
our address. Something terrible has happened." She could give no information, just screaming.
Nothing. And
Unbelievable.
Aaron's 911 call, he and even body cam with detectives, he you could hear when he saw his brother, you could kind of hear that, like, emotion set in when he realized what was
Yeah.
happening, but he was still
Yeah.
able to talk to them and
Mhm.
try to be helpful in some way. She was just I mean,
Right.
she was falling out of the police car onto the ground, like, fetal position. They got nothing from
Crazy.
her. Yeah, it was wild.
Crazy.
It was wild.
And the thing that really struck me is according to after they sort of put everything together, right?
Mhm,
When the brother comes in, when Aaron, Ryan's brother comes in, he's like, "Okay, I've gotten this call. I'm woken up from a dead sleep in the middle of the night. It turns out that my brother has been shot and he's no longer on this mortal coil.
mhm,
It's terrible. Um, let me go to the house." And he looks and he's just like, I guess it was a 22, which is a small caliber. It was hard to tell where
mhm.
he was shot, but he immediately was like, his leg was cold. The blood was dry. It was
Yeah.
already congealing. Like
Yes.
it has been a minute since this happened.
Yes. And
Right.
prosecution says, How do you know? How do you know?" And he's like, "We're hunters. We've been around." I mean, we know what
Yeah.
old, dried blood, looks like.
They're also
So,
farmers.
yes.
Like and I guess a farm is vegetables and a ranch is live things. I'm unclear.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
know farm
know.
things.
I don't know. I know they did crop and cattle. I got that from Aaron when he was
Yes.
on the stand, so
Yes.
they did both. But
And
yeah,
he
I
talked about
saw
parting the cows.
the comment about Aaron being a volunteer firefighter. That
Yes.
was another point that he made on the stand that he thought was odd because Karina knows that he's a first responder and never once asked him to, like, administer any aid or, like, and he was like, "I just thought it was weird because she knows, that I'm a first
He knows how
responder.
to
I
do the
know how to
things.
do this," and she never once, not on the call before he headed over, not once he got there, she never asked anyone to administer aid, um, to
And
her
not
husband.
only that, much like Linda Sturmer, the gorgeous haired murderess before her. Now, this lady does not have gorgeous hair, but Linda Sturmer did participate in the unfortunate unaliving of her husband and then lay on top of his body. Karina climbed on top of her husband's body and laid her cheek against his
Was,
cheek
like,
and
rubbing. Mhm,
rubbing her face on his face
mhm,
and wailed. And I was
mhm.
just like, okay, she's like, "In case you want to perform CPR, do not. My body will be blocking him. I am hysterical. I want to make sure he's fully dead." Like, girl.
Now, do you also think that maybe there was a little bit of, I need for them to see all of this contact with the body so that when they
Yes.
find his blood on me, there's
Yes.
no question on, like, how it got there? Like, kind of,
Yep.
like, ensuring that they know why there's evidence on her. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, kind of
But she lives in
pre-planning.
the house.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
lives in the house. I mean, theoretically, if you live in the house, it wouldn't be
mhm,
weird to have his
to
blood on
have
you
it
or
on
whatever.
there, right. I'm
She's
gonna
like,
make
"I'm gonna
sure.
make extra sure, extra
Yeah.
super duper sure."
I have to know what you think about something too that they keep saying, that she kept saying over and over again in the body cam footage and in the police interview. She keeps referring to this sound that she heard that woke her up. But she keeps
Mhm.
describing this sound as, like, she thought a rack fell in the bathroom. Is she
Sort
trying
of.
to relay this sound to, like, the gunshot? Or if not, how did she not hear? She never mentions a gunshot. She just keeps saying she heard what she thought was something falling.
Well, when she was on the police video, she said, a couple of she said they have one of those pressure racks in the
Yes,
shower that's like the
yes.
shelves. And I was on live stream one day and mine fell and it made this terrible god awful noise. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And I kept talking. And people in the comments were like, what was that? Oh my
What was
God, are
that?
you okay? And because it's not when something like that happens, it's not something that you necessarily expect. And it's very
Right,
jarring,
right,
particularly in my case, because there was like shampoo bottles that just went flying. And
right.
so she was saying like there was a big sound in the house that she heard a couple of days before, and that they had, I guess she did whatever with the shampoo thing. And then she said, at the time of this crime, she heard a big sound that was
Yeah.
similar to that rack falling. So
I
like
get
a
the
big, weird, unexpected. That's sort of what I thought.
it just seems like a stretch for me to relate a gun again, this woman's husband, her kids, her brother-in-law, her everybody in that community, farmers or hunters,
Yeah,
she wouldn't be new to what a gunshot sounded like, and I don't
for
think, like,
sure.
for her, it would sound like a tension rack in the bathroom falling over, like, I feel like there's probably a big difference in those noises. So
For sure.
I kept finding it weird that she was trying to minimize her knowledge of, like, guns and what they sound like
Yeah.
or what the shell Aaron said that, she called him a couple weeks later and was like, "Oh, they found a shell casing? What is that? What's a shell casing?" And
Yes.
he was like,
Yes.
"What do you mean? You know
She said
exactly what a
over
shell
and
casing is."
over.
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't know anything about guns." And they said, "Do you have guns?" And she's like, "I mean, I have a gun, but like I'm just a girl and I don't
I
know how
don't
to use it. I've never used it." And I
I
was
don't
like,
know how to shoot it. I've no She actually volunteered that information in the first interview. It was almost kinda like she threw it in there before she was even
"Yep,
asked. He was like,
yep.
"What did you do next?" And she said,
Mhm.
"Well, I went to the room and I tried to get him to my gun safe, but I've never shot it and I don't even know how to use it." Like, it just kind of was one
Girl,
of those. Yeah. It was weird.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to have all the seats in the world. She was a whole mess.
She
Just
was.
her overacting, and then when they talked about her demeanor at the funeral, when they asked Aaron, the brother, how was she at the funeral? And he was like, what he had a one-word answer, but I don't remember what it was.
Theatrical. That's exactly how he said it, and then the judge was
Oh
like,
my God.
"Alright, we're gonna take our break," and I was like, "Right now?" And then
Oh my
defense
God.
objected, and we weren't allowed to get into it, I guess, so we don't know what happened at the funeral.
I knew it was a one-word answer, but I couldn't remember what it was. But his
Theatrical.
response to the question was so theatrical. It was delicious.
Yeah, it was. He was very, like,
Like,
theatrical.
honey,
Yes.
honey.
Yeah, but they didn't let him
Yeah,
get into it, so
she was so extra, 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 and over the top. Wait, let me see if I can pull up the messages that she sent because she was not just theatrical at the funeral and on the right. Kondo says not nonchalant.
no.
Mm-mm. She was very, very chalant. She
Very,
was
very chalant.
exceedingly chalant,
All the
very
chalant.
much. All the chalant. Let me see if I can pull up these messages because the town folk over there in Iowa were like, hang on, girl. She had some real Facebook gems
Yeah, see, I'm
that she
interested to see.
posted.
I haven't seen any of this. This is new to me too.
Okay, please know that this morning I was laying in my sick bed, aka my recliner, and I was like, "Oh, I don't feel good. I don't think I feel good at all. I'm gonna see what's on YouTube. Let me look at my messages." And I was like, "Oh." And
You got
a person said, I want to remain anonymous, but here's a bunch of her Facebook messages. I was like, "Girl,
like
I will keep
messages?
every
Are
single
they
last
like
one of your
messages
secrets."
that she was sending people, or are they like Facebook posts, or what are they?
Posts from her Facebook page
Okay.
that demonstrate her tremendous grief. Wait, let's
Oh,
see.
I got
Oh,
you.
wait, it's not showing the right tab. Oh, here we go. Here's the right tab. Um, Share. Okay. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so the whole class can see.
Mhm.
I received a great number of messages. I have pulled out just a handful of them, but I sent a message to my social media manager, my cousin TJ. And I was like, hey, girl, hey, can you find someplace on the internet where I can post all 50 messages so people can, scroll through and read them at their leisure?
Wow.
Um, let's see. So just so you know, all of these messages, they're screenshots from Karina's page, which also included her thumbnail that had pictures of her children. So I put the heart over her thumbnail to conceal the faces of her children, although their names keep being said in court over and
Yeah,
over.
they
And I'm
do
like,
keep saying them a lot.
those poor babies. They had unusual names, but I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I think one of them, they were all named after like farm things, I
It's
guess.
not yeah,
I
it
don't
kinda sounds like it. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Mhm.
So this is Ryan passed away. Well, Ryan was murdered in June, and then apparently September 21st, 12 years. I guess this was their wedding anniversary. 12 years, four amazing children, a best friend. How do you say happy anniversary when half your heart has been stolen away, girl? Okay. I'll
Mm.
love you another 12 and 12 after that and every second remaining until you come back for me.
Oh.
To take you to prison? It's our anniversary, husband. You usually sent spent it in the field, and I'd give literally anything to be annoyed with you again this year. Honey, honey.
Mm.
Mm-mm. Like,
Mm.
okay, I appreciate the love that she's pouring out. And then things must have started to get a little bit shady in the community. The first bunch of messages that she posted were all similar to that first one about her love for him. Then she says, September 19th, 2021. And if you notice from this little symbol, we can see this was shared with just her friends. It was not made public.
Oh.
I'll take as many accusations, rumors, and beatings as it take to find out what happened to my husband. Just remember, when I publicize my post, details get left out because this is an ongoing investigation. It took me 3 months to publicly beg for any help because I was busy underneath Houston. But see, it took me 3 months to publicly beg for any help anyone may have to offer, not because of nefarious reasons. Really, girl? Because I have been trusting the system to work and not catch me. Because I don't want there to be any reason. I don't want to be the reason anything gets messed up. Don't be so quick to judge. You really have no idea what all of us are going through. That being said, time for me to get off of here. I can drive myself mad over this without any additional help. Please pray for our family and friends that are hurting and be kind. Um, okay.
This was the temperature of a lot of the community. They had her back. She was,
Mm.
with all of this and yeah, they really did.
Clearly, not everybody, because she
Not
was getting
everybody, not
accusations,
everybody.
rumors, and
Obviously, yes,
beatings.
not everybody, but a great many. I also got messages saying that, people were sending her money, making sure that she
Oh,
had money after being arrested, making sure that, her commissary was always full and
oh,
yeah. But Kathy,
okay.
I'm telling you, after Thursday,
People were like, I would like a refund on
I
the
don't
comments.
think, yeah, I think all of that changed after Thursday's court for sure.
Northwest is asking, did Karina and Hudson continue relationship after murder? Yes,
They
they
did.
did. And in fact, I'm told that when Houston was arrested, he was picked up from her house where he was grieving, raising her kids.
Mm.
This message is long, but it just basically gives all the information that, like, anybody, please help. Somewhere out there, please contact the Tama County Sheriff's Office, blah, 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 because there was a Crime Stoppers notification that was sent out.
Mhm.
about the case. Um, and then she writes, I was going to post something about justice, something about finding who stole you from us, something about
Wow.
how I will never stop fighting for you until the day I join you. Girl, she's doing too much. But you have a tribe for that, a huge tribe who are now turned against you, Miss Karina. So
Mhm.
I'm just going to be sad underneath Houston and miss the hell out of you and make myself a little crazier trying to figure this all out. I'm sorry I've been distant or quiet or shut you out or whatever. I hope you all know how much we love you. I just don't know how to do any of this without my stronger half. Girl, say you've unalived your husband without saying you've unalived your husband.
Wow, yeah,
You
this
are
is
so very loved husband. But I'll forever believe no one loved me like you and you like me. Mm.
wow.
Um, this one was also short, just another love message and how much she loved him. It had been 11 weeks at this point, and she talks about Cyclone football and harvest. This was the first
The
time I
sports
realized
ball
Cyclone
team.
was harvest. It's a sports ball team and not just a weather system. Um, Then she posted this about grief and recovery. She expected her grief recovery to go straight, but reality was it was all over the place. You know what else goes like that? Justice.
Oh,
Justice girl.
ooh.
Mm. More loving pictures on his 43rd birthday, him with a deer. Look how young and cute she looks here.
Yeah,
I was like,
actually, yeah. I
oh,
don't I wouldn't have known that that was, her if I had just seen that
neither would
photo.
I.
Yeah.
Neither would I. And then she made this her profile picture. This is like a year he died in 2021. This is
Right.
2023. So 18 months or so
She would have
afterwards.
been arrested, 4 or 5 months after she posted that photo. It says September, so she was arrested February of 2024, so
Oh, girl.
they were getting closer there.
And then lastly, she shares his the
Mhm.
Crime Stoppers, Cedar Valley Crime Stoppers set townspeople. Did one of y'all claim the reward? I'm asking for myself. Because had this been me, let me know
Mm.
something. I'm gonna be like, okay, I need that reward. I'm gonna need that reward right now,
And,
right here, right now.
we are waiting on 2 witnesses, like, to testify at court next week. These are the ones who say that they heard Karina say that she would shoot Ryan in the face.
Oh, right.
Right.
Court TV is calling this the
The
widow's
widow's
words
words.
murder trial because
Yep,
she reportedly said she could shoot him twice in the face, and then he was shot twice in the face.
right. And we have yeah. So I think prosecution has 2 witnesses that are set to testify next week, hopefully. And,
That's wild.
we'll hear all of that. So yeah, you're right. I wonder if it was one of them that maybe was like, "Let me
Oh
make the
my
call."
God. Look, get your money, boo. If you know somebody who has committed a crime near you, get your money, boo. We have, before I forget, because I always forget to do it, we have some super chats. There's a bunch of starred posts. C. Morales, member for 17 months. Hey, girl, hey. It's been 17 months. I can't believe it.
Wow.
Dr. Bullbutter GRI, so glad everything is going well for you. Thank you, Dr. Bullbutter, 17 months of membership. Krista OG, 2 months. This is gonna be so good, girl. Susan B. Womack says, hey Tiff.
Hey, Susan.
Northwest, why 3 years to charge them?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they really were just I guess making sure they had all of their ducks in a row because it is mostly circumstantial, this case.
Right,
There as
right,
far as what we know right now, they haven't presented any DNA evidence or any fingerprint
right.
evidence. It's all just, the digital stuff, and so I think they
Mm-hmm.
were really just making sure they were able to get all of that together before they could
Wow.
charge. Because yeah, it's harder to convict on, just circumstantial evidence alone for sure.
Yeah, but I think most cases are circumstantial, aren't they?
A
Like, in
lot
the
of them.
cases that I
Yeah.
watch, yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
circumstantial.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't
Let's
know.
see. Marley Mom says, "Is he going to testify
Ooh,
against her?" That's a really good question.
that is a good question. And also, do you think that she will take the stand in her own defense? What do you think?
The way I want to see this trash bag, I mean, the accused on the stand. I want to see
My
her on this stand so bad, so bad.
my thinking is if she thinks because they are going with the defense that Houston was the manipulator and all of that, I feel like there's a chance that she and her attorney Nicole Watts feel like they could put her up there and maybe they think they could convince a jury that that was the case with the weeping and the things that she does, those
The way
things. Yeah.
the gnashing of teeth,
It will
crazy.
be I'm interested to see. I don't know. I don't know if she'll do it.
I'd be
But I
fascinated
if
too.
he shows up in that courtroom, that will definitely be
Oh my God. With the
I'll be
chink, 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 chink,
I'll be
with the
locked in. I'll be locked in.
oh my God.
Which one just happened recently where the co-defendant just testified against I just watched this trial. Which one was it? The
Oh, Monica
coroner
Simontelli.
the coroner that was having an affair with the it was like did you hear about
Oh,
this
yes,
one?
yes, yes.
And
Yes, I followed that case.
he came in and testified against her, after admitting to what he had done. He was like the former coroner of this county. Gosh, why
Oh,
can't I think of it? I just watched it.
I it's look, hang on. Chat will remember for us. Let me go. Let me ba, 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 ba. In the Clouds 4. Welcome to membership. Look, new members. There's a whole lot of madness back there in the members content. Gloria also just became a member. Left-handed RN also became a member. Thank you so much. Welcome to the back room. Squinting Cat, $5 super chat. Did Karina and Houston continue their affair? They absolutely did. They
Mhm.
absolutely did. A bunch of people asked that question. Did they
Yeah.
continue the affair? Mrs. Parks, who is always in the house, who is one of my favorite people in all the world, and also is the president of the GRI fan club. She
Hi,
appointed
Miss
herself that
Park.
long before she was the fan club in the beginning, if you want to know the truth. She was the only member, I think.
That's
Back in the
funny.
Russell Lafitte days when I had 300 subscribers,
I love
Mrs.
it.
Parks messaged me and was like, I am the official fan club president. And I
I
was
love that.
like, okay, go, girl, go. And she's a wonderful human and a fabulous friend. And her husband is very, very cute. I'm surprised she don't keep him locked in the basement. Because if my husband looked like her husband, I would not let him out of the house. She says, great collab, ladies. Welcome to GRI, Tiff. Does Tiff live near this area? Tiff, do you want to share what do you want to share about your location in the United States?
I am on the East Coast of the United States. I'm not from this area at all. I just kind of found out from this about this case. I don't
That's
even
so
know, just
wild.
so randomly. Yeah, and then just have kind of followed it ever since, but
Has anyone involved in this case reached out to you? So many questions. I find it so wild that so many people supported her until this week.
yes.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So I have had a handful, a healthy handful of people reach out to me. Some that were close with her specifically, some that were close with Ryan specifically, and some that just kind of were familiar with that circle. Not necessarily close, but they kind of were giving the perspective of like the community as a whole. Um
Mm.
and then but yeah, it is surprising. Well, it was surprising to me, but she did. She had a lot of believers. That people had a lot of faith in her.
Wild.
Yeah. Yes.
And then they found out the truth. Ohio Palm
And
Mom
then
says, thanks for the coverage. And My Father's Alibi became a new member. Welcome, My Father's Alibi. Y'all, this case promises to be something special. Oh wait, here's another new member. Oh, member for 1 month. Hit that like, y'all. It's easy, it's free, and it helps. Yes, please hit the like button on both channels. Jump over to Tiff Unraveled and make sure you're hitting the like button on her channel and on my channel. This is running, wait, East Coast here, West Virginia. Hey, West Virginia, we see
Hey.
y'all. um, Yes, for those of you who were tuning in late, the first part of the live was apparently quite choppy. Thanks to I bought this fancy Shure microphone that
Oh,
they were like, "Oh, this is
I've
going to be the
seen those.
best."
Yeah, they are. They're
It's supposed to be
pricey.
really good. Yeah, it cost a
Yeah.
pretty penny, but was it this joker is going right over back to Guitar Center today. I don't know
Mhm.
what the problem was, but it's gone, gone, gone now. Wait, My Father's Alibi gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much, My Father's Alibi. Listen, new members, I'm telling you, there is a lot of members only content, like a lot, a lot. So take some deep breaths. We talk in the morning, we talk at night. I'm quite loquacious. Yes, Megan Jackson.
Megan Jackson, thank you so much. My
Yes,
goodness.
Megan Jackson.
I was
The,
right here. I couldn't think of it.
yes, yes, yes. That case was crazy. That
Yeah.
case was 100 different kinds of crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
But she got convicted.
Mhm.
Poor little
And it
Tink
was
Pink.
because they brought him in there in those chains and that orange jumpsuit, and he spilled
He spilled.
everything. Yeah.
This is the thing I wonder though, right? If they wanted to get the goods on Karina, right? I would think they would bring Houston in and he would say like, "Okay, I'm going to tell you what happened for lesser whatever, like
Yeah.
for a less harsh sentence or
Yeah.
whatever."
Yeah. I maybe they will. There's no but again, remember before this trial started, it was so hard researching this one and trying to
Yes.
find like Iowa was just holding on. They were holding on so tight. They weren't really telling anybody what they had, so they may still have some things up their sleeve that we just don't know about yet.
Oh, oh, oh,
Maybe
oh.
maybe we'll see Houston, but that's just me spitballing. We'll see.
And allegedly Houston confessed.
Oh
He
yeah,
gave up the whole game. They called
easily.
him in. Do you know any background? Do you know what the story is around his confession?
I just no from I just had the police report where they picked him up and he immediately on the day of his arrest was just like, yeah, I assisted and planned with, you know, this thing, but he said Karina was involved. Karina planned this with me. This was not just me on, some rogue jealous lover mission. This was planned out. So,
It's
but
so
then he took it
weird.
back. Then he pled guilty and
Yeah.
was like, "No, no, 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 no. That didn't happen. I didn't do it at all."
Do you know what sentence, if any, like has he been sentenced yet for his part in the crime?
No, he's going to trial in August. He has a whole trial. He pled not guilty. He completely said, I that's what I said. I was like, "Well, but you confessed, but now you're pleading not guilty, so now we have a whole trial to get
Sir,
through." There's a whole trial.
sir.
Yeah.
Um,
He
and
he's set for
after
August.
she's convicted, which he's gonna be convicted. Like I feel like she's gonna be convicted, right?
Mhm, mhm.
I don't know. It's a small community, and did they change venue on this or no? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
so they moved it from, Tama County
Okay,
because of all of the people were either pretty convinced one way or the other, and so the state
right,
was like, "We're not gonna get an impartial jury here," so they moved it to Lynn
right.
County, which is in Cedar Rapids. So they moved it to a
Okay,
like, a larger zip code just to get a better pool. Because again, this case was pretty
okay.
underreported, so I feel like it was
Yes.
mostly only talked about right there in that town.
Well,
So, yeah.
listen. if a stick breaks in town, if they fix the the stoplight on Main Street in my town, and my town's way bigger than this one, but if everybody's just like, girl, well, did you see what happened? And did you see that they put the new light
That
up? And now,
town, that town.
yeah, everybody is talking about it. So in a town that's this small, I would
Yeah.
think there would be a lot of scuttlebutt about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to jump over to back over to my channel from where I logged off so I can make sure that I'm not missing any questions. But I'm
You know, Karina, during her second interview, that footage that they showed with her reaction when they confronted her about Houston,
mm,
and the first thing she said, remember, was, "I hate this town and their effing rumors." I was like, well, it doesn't look
girl.
like it was much of a rumor at this point. Not after Thursday, anyway.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Like those rumors are what got you in trouble.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, there's a bunch of questions in here. Okay, let me pop them out. Pop out chat. Y'all know I'm still new to all of this, trying to get it figured out. People, it's like I wanted people to post questions, and now I'm like, how will I find these questions? Wait, questions. Here we go. What town are they? Oh, I can't put them up on the screen, but I can at least see them. Norma F wants to know what town are they from? Please and thank you. Do we know what town this is?
So, yes, Tama County, and it's a small town called Traer,
Oh, yes.
Traer. But I think that Karina is actually from a small town right outside of Traer called, maybe it's Daysart. It's Deysart, like Daysart or Daysart. It's just another very
Hmm.
small Iowa town right outside of Traer. But yeah, that general area. I was thinking that,
Yeah, Lily
hairdressers are
says she
like,
cuts people hair. She cut
yeah,
people's hair. She got all the scoop. Right?
yeah. I was thinking that. I said, people talk to their hairdressers, and maybe it was one of
Absolutely.
her clients, or, be interested to see who these two witnesses are. When you're
Oh
getting your
yeah.
hair done, you're spilling all the time.
And you got nothing but time to kill, and it's
Mhm.
you and the lady in the next chair, and you're just, chit-chatting about everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Northwest wants to know, was the DV in the marriage or only Karina saying it? Did you hear anything about DV in this one?
She actually, and again, defense has not taken the stand yet, but there's been no mention of her making DV accusations against Ryan up until this point. Again, we don't know what defense is going to pose other than Houston Danker did it. But other than that, we don't really know. But up until this point, there's been no mention of it. Even in the text that they were showing between her and Houston, it wasn't something that she would even say to Houston. She would never
Well,
mention.
right. Normally what happens is the woman says, "My husband, he's beating me up. He's doing all these terrible
Right.
things.
There
You
was
should
none of
come
that.
and get rid of him." But
Yeah.
in her text messages, she mentioned Houston beating her.
I
She
I I
said,
caught that. I caught
sh
that.
apparently Houston was very jealous of her
Mhm,
husband, which, sir, she is a
mhm,
married lady. Like,
mhm.
how are you gonna be jealous of her husband? But she said, "You beat me
You keep
because I'm
bringing it
still with
up
him."
and beating me over this. Now,
Yeah.
I wonder if defense is gonna pull that text message back out and use that as a way to show
Mm.
what they're
His
claiming, that
domination.
manipulation over Karina. Yeah. That text will probably pop up again.
Dang,
'Cause
that's
they
crazy.
kinda just glazed right over that. Like, they didn't even mention it. You wouldn't have caught it unless you were listening or
Really
reading
paying
it.
attention.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
jumped out to me because I thought, "Wait,
Mhm.
this guy had you in, like, a house, a nice piece of land, vacations in Florida, but you wanna leave your husband, father of your children, for a 22-year-old who's beating your behind? Like, that's crazy to me."
Yeah, yeah, I did catch that.
Carolina Carolina Hernado. Look, I mess up people's first names. You know I'm not even gonna try on that last name. KC had a good man, father and husband, decent home, but she wanted
Oh, no.
Houston Danker wanker. Child. There is no accounting for taste because I'm like, him,
Yeah.
him. It is unimaginable to me. Let's see. Marley Mum asked, will Houston testify against her? Marley Mum, yep, we fixed the audio. Do you all find it hard to understand the prosecutor like I do? It's frustrating. Unnamed TC with Avery asked, do you find it hard to understand the prosecutor?
I don't. I'm from an area that is very like diverse. I work as a nurse. I hear all kinds of accents and, people from different parts of the world. So I was able
Yeah,
to, and the more you listen to, I did have to have my headphones on, but I think that was an audio issue, not a,
yeah,
um, but yeah, I know that he does have like the heavier accent. So I did see a
yeah.
lot of like chat messages saying that people were having a hard time understanding him. Yeah.
I wondered about that too. I also wondered, like, I don't know how diverse that part of Iowa is. So I wondered if some people would be like, oh, well, this guy, or like might think differently
Right, right,
about him because
right,
he's from a different place.
right. Yeah.
It says he's Kenyan. I
Okay.
knew it was an African accent, but I wasn't sure like what
Couldn't
part.
place
His
it. Yeah.
name is Israel Gubadi. He
Okay.
is Kenyan.
Yeah.
He's a snazzy dresser and seems like a real smart guy.
He does seem
Um,
very smart.
yeah, but I agree. The longer you listen to him,
Yeah.
the easier it gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You start to get kind of into his flow, and you can understand him a little more.
right, right.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody's like, "Can you repeat that?" I feel so bad. I'm like, "Oh, okay," but
Oh, I know. The witnesses on the stand ask him a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they need to understand. And sometimes it's a matter of he wasn't leaning in or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I
audio the
loved
first
that they
day
started
wasn't
with him
great.
though. Yeah, the audio the first day was a night. Look, I know a little something about audio trouble. Um, but apparently his mic wasn't turned on because
Yeah.
one I was watching on Law and Crime and you couldn't hear him at all. So I went back and I rewatched it on Court TV and the Court TV feed was perfect. You could hear every word.
That's where I was
So
watching. Yeah. And once he
if
turned
you
on his
listen,
mic, it fixed it.
it
Yeah.
was fine. It was
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Silver Fox 74 says, Tiff, you are a curtain twitcher. Girl, you all up in people's business.
It's just,
Aren't we all?
it comes with it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. How long did it take for her to get arrested and charged? About
Two
3 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, close to 2. It happened in June of 2021, and she was arrested in February of 2024. So,
Mm.
we were, like, over the 2.5 month, but before the or 2.5 year, but before the 3 year. Yeah.
It was a long time. It was a long time.
Yeah.
And then here's another one. Why was the brother so tight-lipped during his direct? Was he holding stuff back? I wondered that too. The brother was very, very, I mean, tight-lipped. He only answered what
Answered
was asked.
what they asked. I don't know. I think it just kind of all goes back to the dynamic in the community and trying to be when you have a defendant who has support even from people who knew and loved the victim,
Mhm.
and you're in that small town and he's again very well known, maybe just trying to maintain respect to both sides, like, just
Mm.
without does that make sense what I'm saying? Like,
That makes
not,
perfect sense.
just
That makes
trying
perfect
to
sense.
make sure that both sides of this feel, respected, but still
Yeah.
telling what needs to be told without
Yeah.
going extra. Except for that theatrical comment. He was ready to spill with that. He was getting ready to, but they didn't let him, so that's okay.
You know what's funny? Squinting Cat asks, "Is the brother raising the children?" I wondered about that too.
That's a good question. I'm actually not sure who the kids are with. I'll have to look that up too and see if we can find that.
It would kind of make sense, right? Because they lived on a family
Yeah.
farm. The brother was in one
They were
house,
only like a
and
mile away. Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
brother has like 3 or 4 kids. They had 3 or 4 kids. So
Yeah.
if you keep all like those cousins grew up together, they're probably in the same school together. It
Yeah.
makes sense that the brother would have all the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Cinnamon Bear with answers for us. Aaron, the brother, is watching the kids.
Okay.
Honey, Aaron, the brother, is now raising the kids, probably permanently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Under those circumstances, it makes sense to me that he would be like, I'm not going to get up here and trash these kids' mom. I don't know how this is going to come out.
Yeah.
Also, he
It's
just seemed like a decent dude.
yeah, and that's gotta be a really hard just a really difficult position for somebody to be in, like,
For sure.
yeah. So I think
For
he was
sure.
just he probably had a little pep talk before with himself and said, "Just answer the questions, keep it
Hmm.
calm, cool, and collected," and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Lily said, I think the brother is just a quiet type person. Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
'Cause even
Wait,
at the scene when all of this was going on, I mean, and that night, Aaron was very together, so
yeah,
he just seems like that, that kind of person, just kinda keeps it together.
a man of few words.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that life. I can't help you. I don't.
You don't?
That's not where my gifts lie. It is not. My father's alibi says, "So grateful for this channel since being introduced to it recently. Have been binging Kathy is a hoot." Well, thank you so much.
Kathy is a blast.
I noticed recently that I have some crazy number of videos on this channel. I would have to look and see
Mhm.
how many there are, but there are a lot of video, like way, way, way more videos than almost 4,000 videos on my channel.
Good grief.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. I mean, I knew I made a couple. I was
Uh,
not aware.
1 or 2.
I had a few things to say. I had
Yes,
a few
that's
things to
okay. I love
say.
it. You crack me up, you really do.
You know what's funny? I say it all the time. When I make my videos in the morning, they're almost never funny to me. I'm like, I don't. Well,
No, they
clearly
are.
this is the video that ends the channel because it's not
They are.
funny at all.
They are
And then
funny.
later people are like, "Girl, what? You said what?"
They're funny.
All right. Well, listen, I try to keep these lives to about an hour because that's about as long as my attention span is. And also, I promised Tiff that I would let her go. I would only hold her hostage for an hour.
Totally fine. Yes.
We'll definitely have to get back together and do this again, especially when the verdict comes in. We'll have to recap and see what
We'll
other
have to.
madness comes out about
We
this
will
case.
have to. Yes.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Or we
But
can do, like,
many,
a
many,
wrap up while we're waiting for verdict and just go over the
yes,
whole thing, see where
verdict
everybody's
watch.
head is. Yes. Yeah.
And listen, we may change our minds. Generally, I listen to the opening statements, I prejudge the case, and then I listen to the evidence
Well,
and
who
I
knows
decide.
what her defense, like I said, so far has been very compelling and life-changing stuff they've been saying, so you never know what they're gonna have up their sleeve. We'll have to see.
It's crazy. The one thing that really blew my mind was when the defense attorney said, Houston Danker had her living in a fantasy world. Girl,
Yeah.
she grown. She grown. She not like a
Yeah.
little grown. She grown.
Yeah.
Some
Older th
20,
older
22
than
year
him.
old,
Yeah.
twice his age. He was beating
Yeah.
her behind whenever he got mad. And she's like, okay, but yeah, let me unfortunately unalive my husband for you. What?
Yeah, I don't I af like I said, after Thursday, it's just hard
Mm-mm.
it's hard to buy into that at this point. I don't know how you can use that as a defense after seeing their interactions. I don't know.
100%. Cinnamon Bear says, I think the text messages buried her
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Dear East Idaho Iowans in the Iowa district, If you have more text messages, please feel free to reach out to me and or Tiff with your insider scoop, your thoughts, your feelings. You want to come on and have a chitty chat with us? Honey, the gossip doors are open. We will curtain twitch together. But listen, this was so much fun. Make sure
Thank
you
you.
subscribe to
Yes.
Tiff Unravel, like on her channel, like on my channel. I'm so, so grateful to everybody who showed up here today. And
Same.
Tiff, hang on. I'm gonna keep you through this outro. This is 1 minute and 24 seconds.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody. I'll see you
Bye.
soon.
Dear true crime friends, we clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around. Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heifer, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. The world is filled with chaos muppets that like people to kick the bucket from Idaho, Iowa, and everywhere in between. Half a please boncation in the first degree. Half a please come solve the case with me. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me